think we got it now. Hopefully that's going to work. I don't know. Who the fuck knows what's... now we are live.
Eat my dick and suck my balls.
Wrong show.
It's always the right show.
Always the right show. Oh, let's take to the pre-screen real quick. And we will get started here in just a moment for our special 4th of July.
Fucking America's birthday, boy. I tell you what, freedom, ski, yeah. Let's go drink beer, drink whiskey, fuck your mom. Let's go fucking do it.
Our 4th of July special. That is what we are doing today. Of course, it's our regularly scheduled program.
But you can still go fuck yourself, Europe. I'm sorry for all our UK viewers, but fucking freedom. Travie likes guns and explosives. Let's go. I got all the fucking social media out of the way already.
I don't know if anybody...
I didn't post the fucking Instagram post to Twitter, though.
I don't know if anybody's going to show up for this live stream. Being a holiday.
We shall see.
We shall see. We'll give it a few minutes. If not, it's their loss.
We live, bitch!
Old Faithful's here.
Oh,
Brand's
excellent.
here. We were just wondering if anybody was going to show up. Well, thank you for coming.
Wait for it. Wait for it. You ready for the sound of freedom? 3, 2, 1. Hey.
Well, we're going to drink those pretty fast.
Yeah, I may or may not have been drinking before this.
I'm just saying they're a little warm, little warm.
I don't mind warm beer. If it's my brand.
That's true. Alrighty, I guess. She's closing down the store. Yes, I did see that on Facebook that you got a new job.
She did. Congratulations. A job in the field that she wants to get a job in. Why is my fucking phone still on?
I don't know.
Oh, probably because I was listening to our Spotify shit super quiet last night just to get the listen. Yeah, the other fucking shows on Spotify. Check it out. And if you haven't noticed, the blue light is back. Why? 'Cause America. Fuck y'all.
Because it's 4th of July.
Where's our fucking English listeners so I can tell you that you fucked up and lost your number one tenant?
Did they? Did they really?
You know how much we're still paying them. I don't know if anybody knows this in the fucking listenership, but we're still paying them motherfuckers.
Did we really win the Revolutionary War? Did we really win it?
I mean, we got guns and explosives, and we can say fuck the queen if we want to, so yeah.
Well, let's be honest. The only reason we won, the French. If it wasn't for the French.
For once, ever.
The French came through.
God, that fucking fan is heavenly.
All right, we're going to switch over to the main screen here.
Because we're patriotic as fuck, if you haven't noticed. I'm living the dream over here with my fucking bald eagle. Ah! Ah! It's going to be a good show. I'm kind of drunk.
Even better. I'm sober.
I might show my taint this evening.
All right, you ready? We got a couple of brands here, and somebody else is here. It looks like, well, probably you. I guess we can go ahead and play the intro and get this party started a little bit, even though I even sent out a thing today.
Yeah, I found out that apparently I need to be putting this fucking shit on my Snapchat story. Because like I said, one of my ex-girlfriends was like, oh, I'm subscribed. I was like, oh, shit.
That's weird.
Thanks. What?
The blue reflecting off the stand.
You know.
If I was on acid, it'd be awesome.
You want to be?
Not right now. Oh, man.
I'll be honest. I don't actively have any, but I do have a couple tabs of acid on hold in a certain place at a certain time for whenever I'm ready.
Oh, good evening, Emma.
Hello, Ems. Welcome. You fucking... I love you because you're a great listener and everything. But it's America's birthday. Welcome to the fucking show. We've been popping shit off for the whole weekend. Drinking beer, blowing shit up, shooting guns, doing what America does, breaking the fucking bank on some shit we don't need to do, but this is what we're here for. Hey, Siskiyee!
I tell you what. Let's just go ahead and play the intro and we'll get this party started.
Do it.
What is going on, everybody?
Oh, it's going to be a fucking shit show tonight. Travi's been drinking for about 2 hours because it's America's birthday. I love M's and I love Mags, but we are free from your tyrannical fucking government. Fuck the Queen. God save the Queen. She ain't no human being.
Don't be mean to the British right now, because we might need.
I'm not
them.
being mean to our British listeners. I'm being mean to
we love our British
their
listeners.
fucking horseshit monarchical government. Which, don't get me wrong, ours is not that much better. But
let's be honest.
At least we can freely own guns and blow shit up as much as we want.
Both of our British listeners are wishing us a happy 4th of July.
What do you guys do on 4th of July? Do you just sit there and sulk because you're not getting a fat fucking rent payment anymore?
They don't give a shit.
I know. It's just like somebody, Nikki at the bar was asking me, she was like, well, we have Chinese New Year. I was like, that's just because we have a massive Chinese population in the big city.
So in honor
My phone is going off. My social media game on point, bruh.
In honor of 4th of July, we are talking Founding Fathers, paranormal
and
experiences.
We're wearing sick fucking shirts. Move my beer.
Courtesy of Big Travis.
Living the dream.
Mags, they're saying you're restricted and it's not let me hide. How dare them?
That's because it's America's birthday and she ain't American.
How dare YouTube restrict our
I
listeners?
agree. Maggie has been here since fucking jump.
Oh, shit. Wait, what?
She can say whatever she wants.
Yes, she can. But in honor of 4th of July, we are talking Founding Fathers in the paranormal. We're talking presidential ghosts. We're talking presidential UFO sightings.
I don't know who the fuck this is, but Izzy said throw a shout out to Shara Smoke Lounge.
Shout out.
Shout out Shara Smoke Lounge. Whatever you are, let us know. We'll fucking give you a shout out every show. Give us some free t-shirts at about $20 an episode, and we'll fucking shout you out every week.
But, like I said, we're talking Founding Fathers. But before we get into the Founding Fathers...
Hold on. We watched the best film speech ever. We will not quietly into the night. What is that? A secession speech?
No, that's Independence Day. From Independence Day, that was his speech, Bill Pullman's speech, when he was rallying the troops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before fucking his tits drove that plane into the butthole of an. Before Randy Quaid drove a fucking airplane into the asshole of an alien spaceship. Yes. America, USA. USA, 'cause I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I knew I'm fair.
But let's don't get too crazy, because the way this country's going, we might want to rethink that whole independence thing.
I don't know. You want to? Let's go with another one. The best fucking song about America from Team America by South Park's writers. America. Fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah!
Well,
you want to know the other part of the song?
No, I don't.
Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America! Fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls.
I'm going to have to, I cannot, we're going to have to get a bigger monitor. I cannot read.
Brienne said, how much have you drank so far?
That's irrelevant. I have not drank about that much.
I've drank a considerable amount.
Not that much.
I've drank a considerable amount of a bottle of American honey by shout out Wild Turkey. And before this tall boy, I've had, I don't know, 4 beers, 4 pints. For those in the UK, I had a couple of pints.
Oh, well, fuck. I can't. Oh, well, whatever. It's all right.
Fuck it, I didn't drink
it's
last
a holiday.
night.
We're working on a holiday. That's how much we love you people.
Yeah, you goddamn right.
A holiday.
I didn't drink last night. I had 2 beers and went home because I was not trying to drive through Hamilton on Saturday night before fucking 4th of July.
I did nothing last night.
I know. I almost invited you to the house, but once I ate, I was like, dude, I'm going to bed.
When
I woke up when everybody came home and the dog got out of my bed, and they're like, I can't believe you didn't wake up. We were out here till almost 5. I was like, bitch, I was asleep.
Yeah, but
I had a dream about Gyarados from Pokemon. Swear to God, I did. Because my buddy Pokemon in Pokemon Go is a gold Magikarp, which will make a red Gyarados instead of a blue one. He's shiny. Yeah. I shit you not, I legitimately had a dream about like being on a boat and trying to catch. It was there was a net and everything. I had a dream where like we were rolling up on our fucking casting net and there was a fucking red Gyarados in there because I jumped off board and I saw the red body. I came up, I was like, "This is Gyarados. We gotta get it. That was my dream last night. Which, red Gyarados, normal Gyarados, blue, white is a neutral color, red, white, and blue. America! Fuck yeah! I've been waiting for this fucking show tonight.
All right. Before we get
Where is Gonzo?
What the fuck, Gonzo? Yeah.
I'm messaging him on Instagram.
That fucker.
I'm going to slide in his DMs.
That sounded real. Well, okay.
Oh, Lamont's wife is here. Lamont's in the house. Let me guess. Lamont's making some superfly like pork butt because Lamont can smoke like a motherfucker. That dude can. That's the one thing I'll give him. I'll go toe to toe with Lamont on almost any cooking, but I'll give him barbecuing and smoking.
I'm gonna turn you up. I'm gonna turn you on a little bit.
America, fuck yeah!
Because our audio is all fucked up. Every time we plug in, something's fucked up with this thing. It changes. Anyway, before we get to talking about the founding fathers and presidential UFO sightings and just fun stuff like that,
and our dicks,
we're not talking about our dicks.
I'm going to talk about
that
my
would
dick.
be a UFO sighting, unidentified flopping object, or non-flopping object, something. I don't know.
I'll say mine's more of just an existent object.
But let's talk about, since this is the first Ghost of the Night we've done since the Pentagon released the UFO. Yes, I know we need to talk about that immense letdown of a UFO report.
Dude, that's the hand job of information releases.
You know what it really is? You know how you meet a girl, you wine her and dine her, she's got a nice rack on her, and then you get down to the good shit, and you take off the bra, and it's all padding.
Ooh, Lamont's making a smoked pork butt. Go ahead.
And you know it's all padding, and you realize you got bigger tits than her.
Like
that's what this UFO sighting was.
She's got her kids Ninja Turtles shirt from Walmart stuffed in the back of her leggings.
But what did we really expect? Nothing short of, yes, aliens are real, or extraterrestrial is real, or there are dimensional creatures coming, whatever.
Yeah. You said coming.
Coming across the barrier, or coming into this dimension.
You better not be coming across the barrier unless you're trying to be a ditty.
Hey, baby. But anything short of that is a failure. But I will say one thing I am kind of impressed with.
My microphone is way closer to me than I thought it was.
One thing I did like about
that beer is kind of warm.
It is a little warm, but that's okay. I got a little German in me.
You're going to have a little Japanese in you by the end of the night. You keep playing your cards right, talking dirty to
World
me
War II
about
all
UFOs.
All Gonzo's here.
There he is. Hello, Puppet. Gonzo's in the house. My wee little Puerto Rican shortcake.
One little caveat of this release was, out of 143 potential UFO sightings.
What, a year? That was my thing. I saw that. I was like, fuck you. 143 a year, maybe.
That they looked into.
Yeah.
139 of them, or 130 some odd, were they couldn't explain. 7 of them, they could.
Oh, yeah, shit, assholes.
That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah, no, let's multiply it to how many actually happen. Not the ones they want to fucking cop to.
I know. But don't expect...
I'll fight you naked, Phil.
Nobody wants to fucking see that.
I'll strip...
Leave the shirts on. This is a This is a family-friendly show.
It's America's birthday. Don't fuck with me.
We're getting fucking crazy up in this bitch tonight. We are the paracontriacs at this point.
This is how I need to come into the Thursday show.
This is the Thursday show.
But it's fucking America's birthday.
It's a holiday.
I'm living the dream, boy. Oh, look at my belly button. Because
Uh,
this shirt's too small. Because Walmart didn't really have that much. I'll be honest. Yours is kind of dope though, for real.
I make this shit look good.
See, that's the nice part is like I have to wear mine today. You can wear yours pretty much whenever you want.
You can wear that anytime you want.
Yeah, until I wash it and it looks like a fucking wetsuit. Gonzo wants you to bend over.
No, for one, broken back, fused together. I can't bend over.
Fair enough.
Far enough.
I'll do it.
We are officially going. We are can't. And you are out of control today. But anyway,
you should have known today was gonna be a fun show, dude.
Anyway, UFOs.
Let me
disclosure.
Lock that up.
It was an immense letdown, but
yeah, just like the last fucking 3.
But what did we really expect?
Dude, they're not going to tell us shit. All they want to do, we've talked about this. All they want to do is distract us while they do other shit. That's it.
Oh, no wonder I'm watching the wrong fucking video.
You fucking sack of shit.
What the fuck?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, here we go. Now I'm watching the right one.
Attaboy.
I was watching that episode 133. I was like, damn, when did I get a red shirt on? What the fuck's going on here? Oh, okay, I'm back. Gonzo is... I spend most of my time during this podcast or whenever Gonzo's in the chat room hitting the unhide button. Because
This is true.
This is my job. We're going to have to hire somebody to do that.
I mean, eventually we'll have a fucking producer.
Eventually. All right, let's get into the Founding Fathers and the paranormal. Well, let's get into them. Now, excuse me, as we thought about this topic last week, being 4th of July, we wanted to do something patriotical. I cannot speak, but I'm a redneck hillbilly from Hamilton, apparently, or a transplant. That's okay. So we decide on Founding Fathers and their paranormal experiences, or
Yes.
paranormal hauntings of the Founding Fathers, and we branch out into just regular, because there's not a whole heck of a lot. So we branch out to presidential UFO encounters and just anything paranormal. So let's get started with ghost stories of the Founding Fathers. Now, George, this is a good one. I like this one.
George Washington.
George Washington.
Sprinkle me.
George Washington was spotted and actually helped the Union Army during the Civil War. Colonel Joshua Chamberlain was a commander of the 20th Maine Volunteer Infantry Regiment. They were tasked to march to Little Round Top, which is during the second day of Gettysburg.
So that's why I call my dick.
Yes. Chamberlain
Little Round Top.
Chamberlain, obviously great leader, was a little discombobulated, didn't know where he was going, came to a crossroad, didn't know which way to go.
No, you're talking about Wilt Chamberlain, right? The basketball player?
Wilt Chamberlain was busy fucking 1,000 girls.
God damn it.
This is Joshua Chamberlain.
Joshua Chamberlain?
Yes.
He's automatically an asshole. If your name's Joshua Chamberlain, go fuck yourself. If you're watching this right now and your name's Joshua Chamberlain, turn it off.
But Chamberlain and his men came to a crossroad, and they didn't know which way to go. Apparently, they didn't have Google back then, Google Maps. So
Nothing iOS, nothing.
in the midst of their despair of not knowing right, left, straight, whatever, a specter appeared on a
A
horse.
specter.
At that
See,
moment,
this
a
is my
ghostly
thing.
image.
Fuck you. What kind of alien is going to fucking... Alien or ghost is going to... Okay, maybe a ghost, but an alien's not going to appear on a fucking horse.
Well, if it was George Washington,
This isn't that fucking horse shit fucking movie. What was that movie? Fuck. It was like huge as fuck. It's a dude's name. And it's like an alien western.
Aliens versus. Aliens?
No, you know what I'm talking about. It's like John something or some shit like that. Fuck, what's it called?
Oh, it was.
You know what I'm talking about.
It was kind of like, but it wasn't a western. It was.
It's trash as fuck.
Planet John. Yeah, I know what.
Yeah, it was trash as fuck.
Anyway, at that, okay, a ghostly image of a man sitting on a horse on a whore.
He was sitting on a whore named Penelope. They called her Penelope on the streets.
Wearing one of those three brim hats that looked exactly like George Washington.
Ooh.
And he pointed them in the right way. And they.
Are you sure it wasn't George Washington?
That's what I'm saying, George Washington. This is during Civil War. He'd been dead, not Revolutionary War. Civil War, Gettysburg.
Okay, are you sure it just wasn't some other old white guy?
It could have been. Fuck, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not that old.
What if it was the ghost of fucking Napoleon? Well, no, he would have been 4 feet tall.
I don't know.
He would have been on a Shetland pony.
But anyway, fuck, God, what is wrong with you?
Well, I've been fucked up already, but I'm drunk as well.
But
and I got more beer at the house. Wait till you get the text messages later when I leave here.
Chamberlain and his regiment showed up and aided in pushing back the Confederate Army, which led to the victory of Gettysburg. Now, where it gets interesting is Secretary of the War, I guess, whatever.
Is it an official term?
Yeah, at the time was.
I was gonna say, yeah. How many secretaries were there? There's back then. There's Secretary of the War, Secretary of spelling things with S's with F's instead of S's, and secretary of jaundice.
Yes, but his name was Edwin Stanton. He heard about this, and he actually appointed a member of his staff to interview the men.
Yeah, he did.
And asked them about.
And then
this.
he fucked them.
Probably not everything is about sex.
I argue.
Anyway, but through his findings, Stanton actually believed this encounter happened. Now, whether it was George Washington, they just said it looked like him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's probably just some dude.
Right.
That's why you have the research for this, because everything I found, you found, and everything that I found, I was like, it's all fucking explainable. Minus the fucking painting. What
the fuck is Gonzo even talking about?
He's talking about Yao Ming being created in a lab. That's
that
why he's the only Asian person bigger than me.
What the fuck does that have to do with the founding fathers?
Because Yao Ming might be rich and famous, but he can fuck off. I'm a
What I'm
Godzilla.
dealing with? You see, people listening to me. Do you see what I'm dealing with?
See, he's Chinese. I'm Japanese. I'm Godzilla. Yao Ming is Matara. Come back, Matara. Please come back, Matara.
Oh fuck me.
From Biodome.
Why do I even try?
But no, well, like, because, like, for real, like, the most interesting thing to me out of everything that popped up when I searched this shit was the quote-unquote UFO in the painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware River.
Which that happens a lot in.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's one in There's one in the Mona Lisa. They're all over the place.
All over the place.
I've seen arguments about there being one in the Starry Night, which I'm like, that's fucking. You take your pick on that, because Starry Night's a very abstract, almost impressionist rendition of that
painting.
Which, like, I love Starry Night. I think it's fucking. I do like. I love that style of art. I think Starry Night is a gorgeous painting, but like, you can't be like, that star's got more fucking points coming off it. That's a UFO.
But you know there are a lot more founding father ghosts floating around there.
A lot more?
A lot more.
Or several more?
Several more.
There you
go. A lot. Quite a few.
It's all
Copious
5.
amounts.
Copious amounts of semen.
Ben Franklin. Good old Benny.
Yeah, Ben, I think...
He's...
Go ahead and say your piece on Ben Franklin, and I will say my piece on Ben Franklin.
He's very prevalent in Philadelphia. In 1884, a cleaning woman was knocked over by a ghostly figure rushing towards a bookshelf in the Philosophical Society Library.
Philosophical
Society
That was
Library.
just a fucking albino person. That was a ginger.
Her description matched that of Franklin.
I apologize if I won't say her name just to not put her name out there, but if one of the people that I listen or work with is listening, no offense on the ginger comment.
Oh. You
we'll go with albino.
You bastard.
You're not
but
wrong.
This is 1884. So, you know, that's interesting. You know, that kind of shit happens. But apparently if it was Ben Franklin, he liked to read, which, you know, they were learned men back then.
Yeah, Ben Franklin was incredibly intelligent.
Very intelligent. Well, really, how intelligent are you if you know, fly a kite in a lightning storm? That's like when your mom told you play in traffic. Did you actually fucking do it?
I'm not responding to Gonzo. Are we talking about the ghost? I'll talk about the possible spirit. I'm not responding to that as far as like people in my personal life. That's a little bit much.
That's a little personal. But there's been other sightings of good old Benny.
See, Benjamin Franklin's one of, like, I don't know. I saw a handful of his, and I don't know whether I count his more legitimately or less legitimately.
Now this one's
because he was so, like, I think a lot of people sleep on Benjamin Franklin for like his Benjamin Franklin was like Nikola Tesla. Fuck Alexander Graham Bell. If anybody knows anything about the telephone and shit like that, Alexander Graham Bell stole that from Nikola Tesla. But guys like Nikola Tesla, he did. That's facts. But like Nikola Tesla and like Benjamin Franklin, like there's certain guys like that in history that like they're on another level of inventing and thought processes. I would say that Elon Musk is one of them too. Like, you have to kind of take what they say with a grain of.
Fuck Elon Musk.
Okay, but I'm saying you have
Asshole,
to. You
fuck
kind of
Bitcoin
have to.
up,
You
you
kind of have to
fucking
take what they
bastard.
say with a
I
grain
took a
of
hit
salt.
on Bitcoin. Damn it.
I don't have any Bitcoin. I'm an adult. But anyway, you have to, like, you kind of, there's a certain level of creative genius that you kind of have to take with a grain of salt, because, like, they're going to achieve, and then they're going to think so far outside of the box that, at least within their time period, it's completely outside the realm of possibility.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt he was a genius.
Yeah, and I don't think that, like, that is held to their inventions. I think, like, their mind just kind of explores in ways that the mass population can't really wrap their heads around.
Right.
At least at the time.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you.
Because for everything I've read, like, Benjamin Franklin, like, today, Benjamin Franklin would have been a fucking psycho. Everybody would be like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Well, for one, if you got that bald head, just go ahead and shave that shit, which I will be doing.
Hey, he ended up on the $100 bill. Only president to not be on a $100 bill. Or only not president to be on a $100 bill.
Yes.
That's, like,
I mean,
rock on, that's metal as fuck.
He's badass. But there have also been reports.
Had a huge dick, too.
Now, I do not know that personally.
I don't either. I'm just assuming.
Now, there's a statue of him out front of this society. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
And there have been reports of that statue. People have seen that statue dancing down the streets of Philadelphia.
Okay.
But it could have just been a white ghost.
You sure that has nothing to do with the fucking, like, 13 Tito's and lemonades?
Maybe, but more often than not,
God.
this happens on Easter Sunday.
Of course it does. That just makes sense. It's just like all those statues that cry on Easter or Christmas.
What's going on? They're getting liquored up,
and they're
on Saturday night.
You know, they're probably seeing a dude in a fucking suit, realistically.
I have a story. Hold on, I have a story about this. Hold on. But
get me a job at CNN. I should have a fucking legitimate TV job.
They're I gotta quit reading the comments.
What can you get for $20? I mean, fuck. If you pledge to the goddamn Patreon, it's only fucking $2 or $5 a month. You don't even have to spend $20, and then you get a picture of my butthole.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. If somebody pledges to the Patreon, and they're like, "Can I get a picture of Travis's butthole?" I'll send them one. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't taking it.
They're gonna fall in love. No, I'll do it. I'll squat down on my phone.
Selfie stick right there.
I don't even need the selfie stick. I'll just put my phone on the floor, squat down, take the picture. Next thing you know, I'm a fucking millionaire. I'm like the Riley Reid of fucking podcasters, or whatever you want. Mia Khalifa.
Very possible. Now, I will say this. I had a joke about fucking Easter candy. Never mind. You guys fucked up my joke. Fuck you guys. Anyway, go to the next one.
I love it. He gets all pissed off even though I do the job that he brought me in to do.
I know. Many visitors to Independence Hall have seen the ghost of Benjamin Franklin roaming the hallways, which does not surprise. But
chugging contest, no, because these are the only beers we have.
And to be serious, since I have to keep this on the rails somewhat,
I'll rail you.
This is somewhat plausible, but it's more. I think it's very possible because of residual haunting that you would see. You know, there Independence Hall. There was a lot of.
I mean,
things.
any like political building really,
but
because they've all been around. Even like the White House has been rebuilt and shit. Yeah, right. But still.
But you think about the times and the stress and the emotion that was going through.
Yeah, 100%.
At that time. That had to imprint on that environment, and so residual haunting is very plausible.
And plus, like,
I give some credence to this.
This is a little off the rails a little bit.
Yeah,
but I this is a legitimate thought for me.
Okay.
So there's the Bill Clinton shit, and this and that, and all these other things. What happened before tabloids and social media and news?
The president's got to wait. They hid that shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a naysayer here, but like I guarantee you, like Andrew Jackson or fucking Garfield or like somebody was like butt fucking their secretary in the Oval Office against their will on the reg.
Okay.
We just didn't know about it. So, yes, it's hee ha ha, and it adds to the ha-has of the show. But like some shit like that, like we don't know who got raped, who got done dirty, who got murdered, whose body was hidden in all of these national monuments. Like, we don't know, because up until up until basically
90s.
really
Mid-90s.
not even that. I would say before that, even like up until like Teddy Roosevelt, there really wasn't that much like behind the scenes on any president.
But up until the mid-90s, the press covered it up.
Yeah. Oh,
up.
okay. Yeah. There's that. Like,
wasn't
yeah,
until
because then you could make the argument that until like
Clinton.
Carter and Nixon is when it really started to come out, and then when cable blew up is when it really blew up.
Carter, Nixon, and all, like Nixon.
Not so much Carter, because Carter, as far as I've read, was kind of as squeaky clean as you could get.
But Nixon, that was more political. We're talking about.
He's just a fucking idiot.
We talk about
Nixon was just trying to do presidential shit, but he was dumb.
You talk about the dirty shadings, like personal life, sex type shit.
Nixon, really, then if you want to talk about that, it started with fucking JFK.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they knew about that. The press knew about it.
They knew, like, JFK was finger popping Marilyn Monroe's asshole.
So was Bobby. They were probably doing it at the same time.
I mean, fuck, if I was alive back then, I'd have been fucking Marilyn Monroe, too. Are you shitting me? Have you seen her? That girl thick.
I wouldn't even hesitate. Stone cold sober.
She don't even have eyes. Marilyn Monroe did not have thighs. She had earmuffs.
All right. But it wasn't.
I bet you her asshole tastes like Skittles and fucking Reese's Cups.
It started, presidents and fake high power figures couldn't get away with that shit with the starting of tabloids. Yeah. And the sensationalism.
Oh, yeah. The tabloid is what really ruined
the gossip.
The guise of major office.
Right.
Because before that, everybody just thought like, oh, this person's this powerful human being and they do this and that, and that's what we know about. And then once cable took off and all of these crazy number of TV and news channels were employing legitimate, what's the word I'm looking for? Reporters and...
paparazzi.
Not even paparazzi. Fuck. What's the word I'm looking for? God damn it.
I blew my wall.
But once you had cable and you had all these companies employing, legitimate reporters and paparazzi and shit like that, like, that's when it really came to be a thing.
Right.
Excuse me. But, like, I fucking beg to differ and argue the fact that this shit is new. It was always happening. I guarantee you, fucking George Washington was the first president. I guarantee you he used that to his advantage to bang some fucking chick in the Oval Office. Or whatever office, the hexagonal office, whatever the fuck they had back then.
That is the greatest pickup line of all time.
I'm the president. You want to suck my dick?
You want to?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was president, I'd be tapping everything.
Dude, if I was a fucking Boy Scout leader, I'd be like, what's up? I'm the Boy Scout leader at Troop 1557. You want to see my fucking oblong lean to the left dick?
You are so fucked up. You are so not right. Anyway, we'll get back to Ben.
I'm just more realistic than most people.
Benny Franklin. Okay.
Apparently my order is ready for pickup from the Mexican restaurant that's been sitting in my car for the last half hour.
A little late.
Chingate madre punta.
Now, we'll get to the story about
pinche cabrone. Sorry.
We'll get to the story about people being dressed up.
Oh, wait, it's fucking 4th of July. Why am I speaking Spanish?
I don't know. It's not Cinco de Mayo.
Go back to your own country. I'm just kidding.
We love you. There have been several reports of tourists having their picture taken with whom they believed was a Ben Franklin reenactor, dressed in the garb.
Which was common.
And the person who took the picture, they take the picture, turn away, and then turn back to say thank you.
Yeah.
And he was gone. And here's the kicker. When they developed the pictures, back then you had, it wasn't digital back then.
Yeah, it took like 7.5 days.
You had to actually send that shit out.
You were like, now smile for 4 minutes.
The reenactor was not in the photo. Dun, dun, dun.
So basically they snapped this picture and took off because they were trying to get you for money, and by the time the fucking photo developed, they were gone.
No, they hung around till the picture was taken. They were taking a picture with a ghost.
Okay.
Why do you have to be a Debbie Downer?
You're supposed to be the older one in this situation that's supposed to be more skeptical than me, and I'm more skeptical than you.
No, I don't know. I don't really give a shit personally about this.
This is what I think it is. I think it was just two
It's
dudes
not
that
out-
were trying to get over on people because one of them looked like Benjamin Franklin. They snapped the picture and they fucking took off.
Well, but it doesn't explain why.
They just threw the little slide at him. They're like, there you go, stupid. And like nothing happened.
It doesn't explain why they're not in the picture when they had it developed.
Because it's an old school picture. You had to stand there for a minute.
No, not that old school.
I don't know. You tell me you were around when these cameras were a thing. I don't know how they
Talking
worked.
Normal cameras. Like
See, that's what I'm saying. You tell me. You were. I'm assuming you
digital.
were around back when they used to have to etch pictures of people into fucking steel.
Anyway, this might go back to a solo show real fucking quick.
You need me for the fucking Thursday show, though.
All right, we'll go on to the next one since you don't like that one. I think it's possible, though. I've heard of shit.
Yeah,
like
no,
this
I mean realistically, like it could be some crazy shit, but
or it could be just people making
see,
some shit
and
up.
that's the problem. Which we didn't talk about this specifically, but like when I was looking for, like, there's a reason why I don't have notes, is because everything I found, I knew you would already have.
Right.
And not only that, like most of this shit is so old, and it was from a time period where people were so superstitious and they understood so little about so many things that like so much of it can be just kind of chalked up to like, you know, like in the paranormal world, like chalk it up to the game, call it a day. It is what it is.
Well, like that, this actual scenario right here, what I'm talking about, we're talking early 90s, 80s. We're not talking 30s and 40s and 1800s.
I'm 31, dude. That's 4 million years ago.
God, fucking kids.
I was born in 89.
Good for you.
I'm pretty sure you had like 2 kids by that time.
Fuck off, I was still in high school.
Oh,
But I did not have 2 kids.
Our viewers are up and down as fuck.
They're going crazy. Now, this next one's kind of interesting. I kind of like this one, actually. The last one from Ben Franklin. It has become common for people to throw pennies at Ben Franklin's headstone where he's laid to rest, since he is credited with the saying, a penny saved is a penny earned.
Yeah.
So people...
I saw this one, yeah.
People throw pennies on his gravesite.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, they'll throw the pennies, turn around and walk away, and guess what? The pennies get thrown back at them.
This is a homeless guy that's like, give me $5
Which is
or
very
give me
possible.
nothing.
Very possible. It could be somebody in the bushes playing a trick. And it goes back to my philosophy. See, I will call bullshit on this one more than anything else. I do not think Ben Franklin is at his gravesite. If there's a spirit world, if your spirit is still able to interact with this world, you're not hanging out where your meat suit is at. And that is my hard, fast opinion.
Fucking gonzo. Because I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. I want a shirt that says that. Oh, speaking of, you know how I've been talking about buying a laptop or a tablet and a digital sketch pad?
Yes.
Fucking Nikki let me play with her. She's got like an iPad Pro or Plus or whatever the fuck it is with the stylus and shit. She let me play with that at the bar. She was like, well, now I know how to get you to stay here. And I was like, oh my God. I can erase anything. I can change my line thickness. I can change the color. I need one. I don't need an iPad Pro, but like I need
something to that effect.
Dude, they're just so goddamn expensive. Anybody that's watching this, which there's not that many people, which I'm not surprised because it's 4th of July. But like, if anybody watching this has,
and Maggie had to leave.
If anybody watching, did she? I didn't even see.
I'm sure it's probably.
Well, Emma's fucking out there too. Emma or Maggie, are you guys still here? If you're still here, I'll show you my right nipple right now. If anybody has a fucking okay laptop or tablet they're trying to get rid of, let me know because I will take it and I will buy a plug-in fucking sketch pad for it, and we will get these stickers and these graphics ready to go.
There we go. Now let's get to Thomas Jefferson and his ghost sightings.
Some nunchuck. Gonzo has some nunchucks. No, I'm Japanese. I already have nunchucks. I have a whole wall of nunchucks. One of the walls in my room is nunchucks. The other one is swords, and the other one is those weird chain things that have fucking knives on the end of them. I wish I had some weed.
Now, we all can agree that Thomas Jefferson was a little bit of a freak.
Yeah. Thomas Jefferson was a fucking weird cat. Paranormal shit aside, he was fucking
He
weird.
was a little fucking weird. Now, several strange things have happened at Monticello, which is why he named his home. That's sitting on top of a mountaintop.
That cocky prick.
Yes. One lady and her husband who was taking a tour there had someone or something bite her neck or shoulder.
That was me.
No, it was not you. She thought it was her husband, but her husband was behind her but didn't do it. Didn't see anything. But it's not the first time something like that has happened. Several women on the same tour in about the same area have had their hair pulled. And it's only women apparently. Or women have heavy feelings in his bedroom where he died. It's like he's trying to get a little tang on the...
See, and that's my thing is like, okay, like they have a reasoning for it, but that makes me think it's something else.
And plus...
Because normally in my experience, leftover spirits, not to make you sound like old hamburger helper, but like left behind spirits usually aren't trying to fuck. That's its own specific type of spirit and entity, usually.
For sure.
I mean, nothing's ever tried to fuck me that I know of. I mean, my butthole's gapey wide, though, so I don't know.
That's very possible.
You could, like Chalupa Copper could climb in there and fucking take a nap, and I would never know.
Well, we lost 3 on that fucking comment.
It's fucking 4th of July. We're going to go up and down all night.
And several employees at the museum that is his house now, they hear people...
Apparently, I'm way louder than you.
Oh. Well, I'll just speak the fuck up. How about that?
God damn it. I am just naturally louder than you two.
I know. Well, because the fucking shit's all fucked up.
Yeah, it was fucked up when I got here.
But anyway, Monticello employees hear people walking up and down the steps all the time after hours, and they hear doors.
Like currently?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, no shit. It's like a fucking 300-year-old building.
And they hear doors in the 3rd floor close. Repeated, open and close.
Yeah, it's a fuck. How old is the building? Like, I feel like you can't even like chalk that up to a specific person. Like, it's been around so long that yeah, there's a pretty good chance if you believe in this shit, something is stuck to it, or there's just a residual something or other.
Now let's get to what? Go ahead.
Not a podcast topic.
Then what the fuck?
It could be a podcast topic. We have something we need to talk about with somebody we both know that might be hard to fucking make happen, but we should fucking try to make it happen.
What? And whom?
A certain bartender who we both know grew up in a house with a very, very sketchy background that is potentially may or may not be on the list of the most haunted places in Ohio, and that person's parents may or may not still own and live in that house. Yeah. I found that out today. Yeah. Keep going.
I named 50% of them right there. Oh, okay. No shit.
Her dad's not into it. Her mom's super into it. We got to try to win over her dad.
Huh.
But it's on multiple Ohio's most haunted lists.
Well, happy joy.
And it's in, I won't say where it's at, just because that's...
But we have, when we talk...
We got to try.
We got to try. But let's talk about Abraham Lincoln now. This is some fucked up shit.
There's a lot of shit about Abraham Lincoln, not even in the paranormal.
Oh, well,
have you seen the shit about Abraham Lincoln? Like, they speculate that he wasn't entirely Caucasian.
You got to turn it to race.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it was a thing. Like, a lot of people there's a lot of people that theorize that Abraham Lincoln was part black.
Very possible.
But yeah, he was like 6 foot fucking 15.
6'15"?
Yeah.
Really? So 7'3"?
He was like he was Manute Bowles' daddy.
But there's some fucked up shit going on in the White House with, what was his wife's name?
Mary Todd.
Mary Todd, yeah. She was into the occult.
Yeah.
She did numerous seances.
Oh yeah, Mary Todd Lincoln did a lot of crazy
seances in the fucking White House.
Yeah.
And you did read that he had a dream of his own death, right? He knew he was going to be assassinated. In his dream, he he was walking and ran into a room, and there's a funeral going on. And the casket had 2 guards guarding the casket. And he asked, who is in the casket?
Here we fucking go.
Yeah. Who's in the casket? And one of the guards said, the president. He was assassinated.
You bitch!
So he saw his own death.
That's fucking gnarly.
But he has been seen many times.
Abe
in the White House.
I saw that he's been seen quite a few times at the monument too.
Right, many presidents.
Which I feel like that's just fucking like subliminal.
Right, but many
to see him at the Lincoln Monument.
Yeah, very possible. But many
plus drugs.
Many presidents and their family members have seen Abraham Lincoln in the White House.
Oh, whatever. Just track it down. That's just the one dude on
Teddy
your payroll
Roosevelt
that's fucking over 6'5".
Teddy Roosevelt, First Lady Grace Woolidge reported seeing a tall, gaunt figure in several rooms of the residence. Which
are we sure that wasn't just one of the last black people that worked for them?
There you go again. You gotta dumb it down for the masses.
That's what I'm here for. You're the professional one.
Some people that have been walking by on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
I guess that is the name of the street.
Yeah.
In front, right? Have seen what appears to be a man in the top hat.
That's what I'm saying. Like all that shit is fucking. All that shit is fucking bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Because all that could be, the White House could very well be paying somebody who is the stature of Abraham Lincoln to be walking past those windows just to be like, oh, it's going to make more people come fucking look at the White House.
You have to keep an open mind. You're turning into one of those.
That's not what we're here for.
You're turning into too much of a profession.
This is a paranormal podcast. We're not here for open-mindedness. We're here for let's try to debunk this shit.
You have to keep your mind open to both sides.
It's not my asshole in my mouth we're talking about here. We're talking about real shit.
I'm being honest. You're coming in too hot on the negative side. You have to keep an open mind like your ass.
It's not negative. It's just realistic.
It's very possible that he is fucking still
like, why would they not?
Residually.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm not ruling that out. But like,
as
the person that's in charge of the White House making money as a resort, or not a resort, as a what's the word I'm looking for? A tourist attraction. Why the fuck would you not think, like, let's get a fucking tall, skinny guy with a beard and a top hat to walk by the window every 2 hours?
When they start having ghost hunts at the White House, then I'll buy that.
They never will.
Exactly. I'll buy that argument.
And honestly, I don't know how much good a fucking ghost hunt at the White House would be at this point, because we both know it's been rebuilt and redone over and over again. That who knows how much original lumber or concrete or anything there actually is to that fucking building. I would say it's a very small percentage.
Very, very, very possible.
Realistically.
But whenever
it's the second one anyway.
The way the people have reported, the more you revamp and remodel,
I mean, true,
it does spark activity.
True, but like as far as residuals, like if you take away all of the original material that makes up a building, how much residual can you really have unless it's just such a strong memory to that location?
That's true. But let's get into actual presidents who had paranormal encounters.
All fucking 5 of them?
Well, I'm only going to talk actually one. Because, we're running on time. I can't spend
we're only at 48 minutes.
I can't spend all. We got other things to get to.
Yeah, what are we going to talk about on Patreon?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that.
We'll put up the Patreon at the end of the show. Check out the Patreon. $2 or $5 a month gets you a whole nother episode for free. And we don't have to edit ourselves from saying a lot of stuff.
That's true. Now, Harry S. Truman had many paranormal encounters.
Of course he did.
In 1946, President Truman went to bed and was awakened 6 hours later by 3 knocks at his bedroom door. He got up and checked, and nothing was there. He wrote I don't know where the first lady was.
Mm-hmm.
They her and the kids must have been out.
She was in the next bedroom with her black boyfriend.
Maybe. But he wrote a note.
If Pornhub's taught me anything.
He wrote a note, and that is still in his library museum, his presidential library museum.
How many things are in there? Fucking 4?
And what he wrote to
I don't even know shit about this dude.
what he wrote to his wife was, I jumped up and put on my bathrobe, opened the door, and no one was there, he wrote. Went out and looked up and down the hall, looked in your room and Margie's. Still no one. I went back to bed after locking the door, and there was footsteps in your room whose door I left open. Jumped and looked, and no one was there. The damn place is haunted, sure as shooting, whatever.
Sure as shooting.
Sure as shooting. God damn.
Sure as my
Secret
fucking
Service said
cousin
not
mom
even-
is my uncle.
Secret Service said not even a watchman was up here at that hour. You and Margie had better come back and protect me from some of these ghosts from carrying me off. Okay.
The fuck is that gonna do, pussy? Honey,
pussy.
I'm scared. Come save me from the big bad ghostesses.
This isn't even the first time.
What
He-
a fucking.
He wasn't this. There was an encounter back in June of '45, just a few months into his presidency, where he
Oh, that's
wrote,
just because he was getting drunk and doing drugs because Hitler killed himself.
he was, doing some presidential business in the study. Maybe that was his secretary. I don't know.
That was his Monica Lewinsky.
Maybe, but he heard footsteps coming down the hall, and even walking into the room that he was in, and nobody was there. And once again, he wrote a note. So he had some encounters. He believed the White House was haunted.
Sounds like a pussy to me.
Very possible. Let's see what else we got. Now, you want to talk about some UFO shit with the presidents and some of the founding fathers?
Of course.
Don't be such a Debbie fucking Downer now.
I'm not. This is where we get into the fun stuff because this is less explainable to me. Because Brienne even said it. Like, there's what is it? The original exterior stone walls of the original part of the building are the only original parts of that building that are left. So, that leaves as far as residual haunting. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like if you take care, if you get rid of the original structure, a residual haunting has a very small chance of sticking around.
I don't think so.
Unless it's really.
I think you're wrong. I think it's on the environment. The energy is in
Okay,
the
yes.
environment, not the
You
walls.
cut me off too early. I was going to say that, but I think once you remove the physical material, it cuts it in a percentage unless it's an extremely traumatic experience.
See, I don't. I think it's
because what good is that? What good is that?
The environment.
What good is that fucking
the building? Just like battlefields, there's definitely not structures there.
There never was.
Exactly, but the residual energy is still playing. It's
But you're talking about
energy in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I disagree. You're talking about like in a battlefield, the shit happened on
But
the dirt.
It's the same.
Whereas
principle.
here it happened on a fucking staircase.
It happened in the air, in the environment around. You're thinking in terms of walls.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking the atmosphere.
Yeah, see, that's what makes us so good with one another. Is you have your opinion on things and I have mine.
I don't believe in haunted houses. I believe the environment in that area is.
See, I think and that's what I'm saying.
housing-
I think as far as residual haunting goes, most of it is attached to the material itself.
Our good buddy Zach Bagans, Demon House. Let's talk about this for a second.
Hello down there in the Fagala hole.
He tore that house down.
Yeah. He still pays to have it sealed in a fucking
I don't
shipping
believe
container.
that you can do that all day long. I think it's the energy in that area, in that space, in that.
So I disagree. I think it depends on how much of the material he took away.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the fucking material. I think
I
it has
do.
to do with the atmosphere.
I do unless it was already there. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Like that's when we started talking about the Native American influence and stuff like that. Unless something was already there, in my opinion, most residual hauntings have to do with the physical material that makes up a dwelling. Now, when you get into battlefields and stuff like that, it's a whole different thing because that's attached to the land.
But it's not a whole different thing. It's the same principle.
It is though, but like none of the presidents are attached to the land. They're attached to the building. They don't give a fuck about the land it sets on. You could pick up the White House and you could take it to fucking New Hampshire, and they wouldn't give a fuck. They're still going to stay in there, and it's still going to be I'm the president.
I don't think so. I think it has to do with the environment and like, say this is the White House. Say they tore the White House down and built.
This is the White Room.
Why you gotta be racist? And I think if they tore the White House down, moved it to wherever, and built another house there, I think there would still be activity at that new house.
But to what extent is my thing?
I think just as much extent as...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not poo-pooing your idea. I'm saying I think like, especially because we can agree on one thing. Wood seems to hold on to stuff better than any other material. Am I wrong?
I will give you some of that. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like if you tear down a house, I'm not saying it's going to go away entirely.
Okay.
But I feel like in my mind, the way things work, it would naturally chill the fuck out once the entirety of that original structure is gone. Which we're not dealing with the White House because there is still part of the original structure there.
Right. I will give you some of that. I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah.
I think I will say
that's all I'm looking for. Like I don't expect you to like I this is one of the ones where I am way more skeptical than you are. You're more skeptical than me in a lot of ways, but in this residual thing, I've picked up on the last however many months that we've been doing this that I am, as far as residual hauntings, I'm way more skeptical than you are.
Oh, I think residual hauntings are really more likely.
I
could be the only hauntings.
But I agree, but my thing is to what extreme? I agree that they're probably more common, but I also think that if somebody has a residual haunting, this little thing is happening, and then their mind is taking it the rest of the way, and they're blowing it up. They're having dreams, they're having daydreams, stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, I was touched by a spirit," when in fact they really just like heard fucking footsteps upstairs on 3 different occasions.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like the house I live in now. They like. Mel even told me, I was like, I'm just glad your house isn't haunted. She was like, I'm not sure it is. And I was like, I'll find out if you want.
Well, I mean, I just think...
Because hey, you guys can stay out of the house for the weekend, and if there's something in there, I'll stir it up real good. Because I'm not worried about it.
I think it's very possible that a lot of residual hauntings are confused. Most people watch this not realize, but I'll say it anyway. There's 2 or 3 types of hauntings.
There's more than that, really.
But there's 2 most common categories.
There's residual. There's intelligent.
Those are the 2 most common.
And what's your third? I would say poltergeist.
Well, see, poltergeist is one of those freaky ones.
I would say poltergeist is the most uncommon, but I say that's the 3rd most common.
I think poltergeist is...
Or physical attachment to a person.
Well, poltergeist is... Everything either falls under, I believe, it's an umbrella of residual and... What was that? Jesus.
That was a 1987 Chrysler Baron.
Intelligent haunting, per se.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would say there's 2. There's 2 options really overall. There's intelligent and there's residual.
Right. And I think a lot of so-called intelligent hauntings is really just residual, that where our mind wants to connect dots.
Well, see, and that's we agree on that in that. I don't think that a residual haunting has to be as mindless as a lot of people think. I think there can be a residual haunting that can, but whereas an intelligent haunting will react to you asking a question or something like that, I don't see why a residual haunting can't or doesn't respond to just a change in the environment.
See...
Like you could say, I've been hearing footsteps on this stairway, and if you're going to sit on the stairway and you're going to ask questions, who's to say that residual haunting has that memory of the stairway and doesn't go walk around in the fucking spare bedroom?
Well,
because they also have that memory, but you're over there, so you're making them feel uncomfortable.
See,
which then skews the line of does that make it intelligent because it's thinking? Yeah,
that makes it intelligent.
I get that, but like
it's just a replay.
See, but that's my thing is like, where do you draw the line of a residual haunting maybe changing its pattern because of your presence, and a intelligent haunting?
Residual, I don't think it will ever change.
See, but that's my thing. See, but here's my thing is like, where do you draw that line?
But how do we?
Because an intelligent haunting, in my opinion, responds to you directly trying to communicate with that haunting.
No.
Whereas a residual haunting, I think it could be the same spirit or the same memory of the house just going to another place because we're here and it doesn't want to be there.
See, then that would give it thought and that would make it intelligent.
But if it's already going on in that room and nobody's paid attention to it.
But here's the thing about...
You know what I mean? Like, it could have been going on in that other room the whole time, but since it's in the stairs, which are heavily used, that's what you pay attention to.
That could be a whole separate residual. But here's...
Or is it? And see, and that's my other thing with residual hauntings is, like, how many residual hauntings could be going on at the same time?
I think indefinite.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where the waters get muddied for me is like you're like, oh, I hear this on the stairs, and then when I'm on the stairs I hear this in the bedroom. Like, well, the shit in the bedroom could have been going on the whole time, but you were focused on the stairs because you use the stairs every day.
And I think that's...
And the shit could be going on in the bedroom, just like the fucking water faucet could be leaking in the bathroom, and in the basement you could be hearing like it could all be just the same thing.
That proves that's what I'm thinking. Why I said a lot of residual haunting I think gets misunderstood as intelligent in that scenario,
and vice versa.
It's moving. Oh, it's moving away from us,
and vice versa.
Probably,
I think a lot of intelligent hauntings get mistaken as residual, and I think a lot of residual hauntings get mistaken as.
I think intelligent hauntings are more like, I categorize them like demons almost.
See, I think residual haunt. I think
it's rare. I think it's truly rare.
I think intelligent hauntings are more abundant.
I don't know. We're going to go for at least another half hour, 45 minutes.
But I do. I think as we know them, I think intelligent hauntings are more prevalent than residual ones. Well, because here's my thing: is if you have a residual haunting, as somebody who I think I've lived with residual hauntings, 100% I've lived with in my dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, walking in my dad's bedroom, walking down the stairs, all that shit, like, it happened. It never happened when I was there. But my fiance told me multiple times, and I never knew her to be dishonest about anything. And she also said that my dogs would, like, get up off the couch. And they were puppies. You know how puppies are.
Right.
When puppies are out, they're out. My dogs would wake up and go to the fucking gate because somebody was walking around upstairs and coming down the stairs. And that's my thing, in that the reason I think that intelligent hauntings are more prevalent and more abundant than people think is I do think that a lot of what people think are residual hauntings are more than they think they are. They just don't explore into them enough. I think that one thing that you're used to is that thing's ability to be like, okay, so you pay attention to this. So I'm going to keep doing this until you pay attention to what I'm doing, and then we're going to have a talk, quote unquote. Because once she started acknowledging it and went up there when I was working and said she talked to my dad, that shit stopped. She said she went up there and she told him, like, yo, he's going to college. He's working full time. He's doing what he needs to do. We're about to rent a house. We got 2 dogs. We're happy. We're going to get married. Blah, 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 blah. It didn't happen again after that point. I think a lot of residual hauntings are just a certain spirit's way of trying to get somebody's attention, to draw attention to themselves, to try to figure out what they're trying to get done so that they can get the fuck out of here.
Very possible. I mean,
granted, I will say, like, I'm not trying to, like, for all the viewers, I'm not trying to, like, shit on your point of view. That's just the way I look at it, in that, like, I'm naturally, both of us think about this shit more deeply than a lot of people.
More deeply than
and
what
in
we
my
even
experience,
portray in this.
Yes, and in my experience, like that. See, I agree. That's the crazy thing, is like so many people think from watching our show that like we are one way or the other. Like, no, I legitimately think about this shit in my whole life. That's how I felt. Is there are residual hauntings. They're left and right. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that a very good number of residual hauntings are just trying to bring attention to something that's trying to achieve something, and it's found something that gets people's attention. And the problem in that is the people are like, oh, we hear creaking on these steps. Let's just focus on the creeping on these steps.
I can't completely disagree with your philosophy or your rationalization of that. I just think I view it as intelligent hauntings is the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
I think residual hauntings are because residual hauntings aren't a haunting.
It's just a memory.
It's a memory being played over in the atmosphere, in my opinion. And a lot of people, if that memory, if say you see a shadow figure and it turns and looks at you, they're going to think that's an
intelligent haunting because it looked at you.
But
that residual haunting has been doing that for 200 years. You just happen to be in the right spot.
And the odds of you picking that up again.
Well, and see, that's what I'm saying is like, that's where the line gets drawn is like I've heard about that shit. And then I've heard more stories about that happening. And then there's a furthered interaction, maybe not in that specific time, but that person's like, oh, this happened. And then the next night this happened. I'm like, yeah, it's because something knew what it could do to get your attention, just like a dog pisses on the floor. So, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, so, like, this spirit was doing that, and now you've noticed it. And now it's going to be like, hey, this is, like, which brings me to a whole other point is, like, people want to talk about, like, the Casper shit and Ghost, Ghost Whisperer, the TV show with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, people want to talk about, like, moving on and stuff like that.
It was,
we don't have to.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Sure. We don't have to, and that's my other thing is like people want to make put too much effort into this shit. We don't understand what we're doing for these spirits if it's an intelligent haunting. These spirits, if we acknowledge them and we're like, okay, you're here, what can I do to not piss you the fuck off? We can do stuff without realizing it that can help that spirit move on.
I get it, yeah. I mean,
and it's just that's what I think is like people talk about residual hauntings going away. And as far as I'm concerned, a residual haunting is not going to just go away until you completely rid yourself of the physical things that had to do anything to do with that person or being.
If you take the approach that a residual haunting is just a replay on the energy in the atmosphere,
which is how I look at it.
Okay, just like a videotape.
Yeah.
The old videotapes. You keep taping over and over and over again.
The tracking comes off.
So I just wonder if maybe it works in some way, the same way.
I agree, especially when you start to renovate and shit.
That energy only lasts for so long.
Or I agree, especially in that like
a new memory takes over.
Well, because everybody talks about renovation, I'm like, okay, so you might stir it up when you renovate, but what happens when you put up new drywall and shit like that? In my mind, it chills the fuck out because all that you have at that point is the framework.
Right.
Which, the way I look at residual hauntings, this stuff connects to what it contacted. You know what I mean? It connects to things that physically were a part of a memory or a time period, and the framework of a home is just there.
Now,
it's never directly involved with anything.
Just to play...
Very rarely, at least.
Just to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Which is what we're here for.
Like the story you told about your dad and your ex-fiance.
Yeah. Which I still have. Well, the big thing with that is like, so she had the thing where she would hear somebody walking around. She would hear somebody coming down the stairs. The dogs would come over. She talked to my dad, quote unquote.
Right.
Told him I was going to school, working full time, blah, blah, blah. It stopped. And at the time I was still having dreams where I would be in like the slums of Brazil. I shit you not. These are actual dreams that I can pull up from my memory. And my dad was alive and I was running from him because I was still ashamed of who I was and I knew my dad would not be proud of me. And as soon as she did that, within a week, those dreams stopped entirely. And still to this day, if I do something fucking stupid, like I get too drunk and drive home or I spend too much money on some dumb shit, I still have those dreams.
God, that was warm. Oh.
Not all the time. But like when I make a bad life choice, I still have those dreams where I'm running away from my dad.
Let me propose this, and let me just give me your opinion, what you think. Very stressful time in your life.
Yeah. I was 21 years old. I was a kid.
At a young age.
I was couch surfing. I was a baby. Like my mom literally like gave me the money she had in her change jar for pocket money to go bury my dad and get back.
So
she had enough money to get me a plane ticket there and back.
You were in an extremely emotional state, and I think you agree with this. Our thoughts, and we put out energy into the universe with our thoughts, with our actions.
100%.
Especially
with our actions.
You were putting that with your mindset, with your actions at that time in that house. You were in a bad place.
I wasn't in the house.
What was you?
I didn't live with my dad when he died.
Well, no, I'm talking afterwards, with the haunting, with the walking around your girlfriend. You were living there with her, right?
Yeah, I like low key within legal rights because we talked to the cops. Me and my brother and myself, because my brother got released from prison which I'm not a big fan of my brother, but he got dealt a fucking shitty stick on this one, a shitty hand. My brother got released from prison between my dad dying and me going to bury my dad. So he couldn't even go to New York to bury my dad because he was on parole.
Brian, I will get to your comment in a second. I just want to finish this thought with him.
We broke into my dad's house.
Right.
A couple days before I went to bury him, which we called the sheriffs and shit. We were like, "Yo, my dad's dead. I want to get in here and see what keys are in there so we can lock shit up and try to consolidate shit." That's also when his girlfriend at the time, that fucking bitch, called the cops on me because I tried to get my dad's car and take him to my dad's house before I fucking buried him. And I will say she's a fucking bitch. I hope she's listening to this. You're a fucking bitch. I've talked to your daughter's fucking baby's dad. He thinks you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch for what you did. I'm sorry. You are. She did. I went to get my dad's fucking car to take it back to his house before I flew out to bury him, and all she did was open the fucking window and tell me, "Travis, the police are on their way." The fuck are the police on their way, bitch? For like the fuck? All I'm trying to do is take my dad's SUV back to his house. I done saw my fucking dog in the backyard. You put him in the house already. Which on top of that, my dog died while in her possession. I didn't have shit to do with the burying or the handling of his body. But yeah, we broke into my dad's house, quote unquote, because me and my brother are both, he's got a little shadier past than I do, but we got in there and shit like that. And it wasn't until I came back when I thought everything was okay. You know what really popped it off?
What?
And I'm sorry to extend this further than it should go. But
right.
I remember.
I will get to my point. Don't worry.
Like, I remember I lived there with my brother and my fiance, and we gave him the master bedroom, and we slept in an old bedroom. And then rocks started to come up between me and my brother. And eventually I was like, dude, you got to fucking go. Like, I'm not doing this shit. And then, unfortunately, it got to the point where I was like, you're not dad's biological son. You have no right to anything. Get the fuck out. He left. We moved into the master bedroom, started redoing it, cleaned out the closet, and I shit you not, I can remember it. Everything was fine up until that point. Like, I was playing my drums, fucking all that shit, and we were cleaning out the closet, and I remember we cleaned out everything, and I picked out, my dad used to wear these, like leather and suede, leather or suede, depending on the hat, like almost like Indiana Jones hats.
Okay.
Like a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I remember we cleaned out his work shirts, his ties, his shoes, his cowboy boots, which, like, I'm still fucking pissed. My brother took most of them. I wanted to keep some of those cowboy boots because my dad were from Texas. He had a hell of a lot of cowboy boots, a lot of really nice ones that are illegal now because of the hide.
Right.
And, like, I wanted to keep them, and I don't have them now. But, like, I remember we went through all this shit, man, and I was cool. And then, like, I walked out of this fucking walkout closet, and I was holding one of my dad's hats that he wore all the time. And I just started fucking, like, I just looked at it, and I started to get, like, real, like, weak in the shoulders.
Yeah.
And then, like, my ex was talking about something, and she just looked up, and I was just fucking, just bawling, crying, holding on to this hat. Because I was like, this is the last thing that, like, because my dad and I, when my dad died, we didn't have a very good relationship. But, like, when my dad was not in a hospital, and the last time I saw him, he was wearing these hats. And, like, I was, dude, like, just fucking, like, rolling down my cheeks crying. And she came over and blah, 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 blah. And, like, that's when all that shit started. is when I came to the realization of like that was the moment where I came to the realization. I was like, oh shit, like he's gone.
Now you were living in the house at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had been living in the house, but that was when we moved into his room.
Okay. This is my point. You were in. I think people watching and probably listening heard the emotion in your voice. It still drives emotion to you to this day.
It still bothers me.
Imagine that time. At that time.
I remember that time very specifically.
That energy you were putting.
I was a fucking 21-year-old kid.
But that energy you were putting out into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Now, could it be that you were affecting that energy, whether you want to say it drew him in to where he had this conversation with her, or it was just you were sparking that environment? And because Brianne brings up, she states all that combined can cause a poltergeist activity. Now, poltergeist,
there was never any poltergeist shit.
Here's the thing: poltergeist is a catch-all fucking term, and it kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
Poltergeist means
it's
noisy
a catch-all,
ghost.
but it's very specific at the same time because a lot of people don't know what a poltergeist really is.
Well, poltergeist is basically anything where object starts moving.
Yes, when you can physically notice something happening is when you have a poltergeist activity.
But there are those people that truly fucking believe that a poltergeist isn't actually a spirit. A poltergeist haunting isn't a spirit.
It's yourself.
It is generally they say it is generally a prepubescent girl with all those emotions going through and putting all that energy. It's psychic.
Because that was one of the big things with The Exorcist with Linda Blair.
Right. Their psychic energy is causing interacting with the atmosphere, causing this activity. It has nothing to do with a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's other people who say, "Oh, well, poltergeist is everything moving." I hate the term poltergeist. To a certain extent,
it's perfectly fine. It's just overused.
This is a beautiful thing about the paranormal. We don't know. It could be, but like I'll get to that in a second. Maybe you were affecting that environment, being such a high stress time, the pain you were going through, and she had this encounter. Or she heard these noises, she went and had a conversation, expelled kind of a calming energy into the atmosphere. You were on the mend, maybe coming to a somewhat of a better place. You weren't expelling it, and it just kind of collectively, and then it disappeared. I'm not trying to make light of what your experience or her experience or anybody's experience, but is that that's a possibility? You were affecting the environment. She had she had some sort of closure, which had a common effect on you.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things, man.
It could have been your dad.
Like
we don't. That's a beautiful thing.
Well,
we don't fucking know.
We've talked about I've talked about multiple times on this podcast and the other one, how I think that there's something attached to me, and I thought that before my dad passed away.
Yeah.
But I do think I don't want to say my dad is attached to me. I want to say my dad pops his head up.
Almost like a guardian angel.
Because it's just like we've talked about it. When in the beginning of 2019, I did a little bit of blocaine with some friends. Not even enough to matter. I went home and went to bed. But sure as shit, for a week after that, I was having those fucking dreams where I was hiding from my dad. I was running away from him.
Let me ask you a question. Personal question. During this time at your dad's, were you clean?
Yeah, my dad never knew. My family doesn't even know that I was ever
that bad.
No.
So it was before.
Nobody in my family knows that.
Before his death was when you hit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just
I was a fucking shitbag, but it was just because I was young and dumb. Nobody, no member. If they're watching this right now, they'll be like, "Bear, bear, bear." No member of my family.
Oh, hold on.
Knows
Brand, that. No, you're fine using the poltergeist term. No, I just think it's misunderstood. You're good.
Yeah, you're fine. But yeah, no. Up to this date, no member of my actual family knows that I had a drug problem, because none of them were actively really in my life at the time, which I don't blame them for by any means.
Right.
But yeah, my dad never knew that. My dad knew I smoked weed. That's it.
Right. He didn't know about the heavy.
He didn't know about anything else. Yeah. By that time, our relationship had deteriorated, and I was when my dad died, I was fucking living on an air mattress in my buddy's basement, working for his family.
Right. But here's the thing. This is a beautiful thing about the paranormal.
Which I will say, I think, not to cut you off,
No, you're fine.
I think my ex-fiance, Kira, I don't know, she doesn't watch shit, but like if she ever does, shout out to her. She's a fucking great woman. As far as I know, from what I've seen, she's been a great mother to her child that she's had since she's left with me. And like her family's fucking great. I have nothing bad to say about her family. None of that shit. I think she had a lot to do with that. I think she had a lot to do with me. I don't even think it. Like, she did have a lot to do with me fucking straightening my shit out. Because she had her problems, and she was like, yo, we're not about our problems. We're about what we do with them.
That is true.
And because of her, I stopped having fucked up dreams about my dad chasing me because I was a fucking sack of shit. And I stopped, like, not giving a fuck. And I started going to school, and I got to the point where, like, I could go back to school right now and do, like, I could do a year right now and have my associates in business administration and accounting. It's just not my thing. That's why I haven't finished it. But,
Right.
like, that woman fucking, she straightened my life out a lot. And it straightened out a lot of shit within my personal being that had to do with my dad and other shit. And it fucking helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think it's this, but this is a beautiful thing about the paranormal. It could be either. It could be you were affecting the environment, or collectively you and her were affecting the environment.
Mm-hmm.
You caused it and fixed it all at the same time, or it could have been actually what him coming to pop in.
Mm-hmm.
We don't fucking know. There's no way to fucking prove it either way.
Well, I think she had a lot to do with it because, like, my dad actually liked her.
Right.
The only shitty thing I think I ever heard my dad say to my ex-fiance was, like, yo, can you not park as close to the mailbox so that the mail can get here if you stay here late during the day? That was the worst thing I ever heard him say to her. And, like, my dad did not like most of my girlfriends.
Right.
Rightfully so. Like, I had some shady, fucking shitty girlfriends before that, but, like, she was... I can say this, that, and the other about how we broke up. It is what it is. It's nobody's business but mine and hers. But, like, she was always a very good significant other. Like, as far as her in my relationship, like, you'll never catch me saying anything shitty about her. She was a fucking good woman. She comes from a good family. Her mom's good people. Her dad's good people. Her grandma's good people. Her grandpa's good people. Her great-grandpa, I met him. He's fucking good people. Like, and I think that helped me a lot with where I am at today with my spiritual backpack, if you will, of stuff that I've always dealt with. It's lighter. I don't deal with as much as I did before I met her. And she had a fucking, if we really want to, I'll reach out to her if we want to and get her story. She's got some fucking interesting stories about her experiences with the paranormal, especially with this one house she lived in Wisconsin. She's got some very interesting stories about that house.
That's up to you. I don't care.
I'll do it. Like, the last time her and I talked, like, it wasn't anything bad. Like,
You're just more of a man.
I was angry at the time, but I told her, like, the next time I saw her face to face, I was like, she had a kid by that time. I was like, and she was like, sorry for bringing him. I was like, we're cool. You got a kid. You got to take care of him. It's fine. Like, I'm not out here trying to make your life hard. You do you, boo boo. Like, I say all the time, like, I'll love her for the rest of my life in one way, shape, or form. She was the first woman I ever loved and really cared about. Like, I'll ask her, and if she wants to talk about it, she has, dude, like, some really fucking compelling and very interesting stories about fucking this one house they lived in Wisconsin. Like, very interesting.
That's up to you. I'll let you make that call.
That turned into a really long spiel. Sorry, everybody.
That's all right. We might just bypass the rest of this shit. No, but like, poltergeist is just a catch-all
It's
term.
such a branch term.
It's just one of those terms that, and depending on who you talk to.
It's overused.
Exactly.
And it's overused, and a lot of people just don't know exactly what they're saying.
Well, because...
Like, you can be like, oh, a door slammed.
If
a door slammed one time, that does not mean that it's a poltergeist.
But if
it happens regularly,
reported things go missing, moving.
Well, in my experience too, a poltergeist often no, I don't want to say more often than not, but very often has something to do with the manipulation of electronics.
See, I can't disagree with it, but I personally more of tangible picking up things because I think you're
Shit you can see with your own eyes.
right, or physical objects moving. I think
Shit you can see with your own eyes.
So where electronics, I think you could be right. It probably could have an effect on it, but I think even normal.
Well, I mean, I find it hard to
residual.
argue that a residual haunting, unless it's a somewhat fresh one, can really manipulate
But
electronics.
who the fuck knows?
I'm not talking like cameras and shit, like TVs and stuff. Like I feel like something from the 1800s is not gonna fuck with a TV.
Yeah, I mean, who the fuck?
That was a good one.
Who the fuck knows?
Did you hear any gunshots last night?
Yeah, somebody unloaded a clip.
Yeah, I think I heard a handful of two.
It was kind of like sounded like it was closer to me, but like towards where you.
I think the person. What? Okay, was there firecrackers or fireworks immediately during or immediately at the end of it? Because I'm pretty sure I was laying there with the dog, and I'm pretty sure I heard somebody shooting off a clip, but I think they were shooting off of fireworks at the same time to kind of cover it.
I think a firework went off, a normal one, and you heard it explode, and then you heard pop, 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 pop.
See, I heard it for a minute because I think if what I heard was gunshots, it was more than one clip.
There were some fireworks in there too immediately after.
Yeah, which just to make everybody feel comfortable, I don't give a shit. Yeah, shoot all the guns you want during 4th of July, as long as you're not shooting them at somebody. Because more often than not, in this city, during 4th of July, it's just some fucking drunk redneck shooting his fucking Glock off in the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard da da, and then I heard the tum,
Oh yeah.
but then I heard da da da. Da, 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 like every so often during the middle of or during that fucking mortar going off.
It was either right at midnight or right.
Oh, moon unit's here.
Yeah, moon unit's here. I guess we can get into
into things being hidden. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not residual. I would say more often than not, if you're getting things hidden just out of sight, that's probably just a family member or somebody you've cared about just fucking with you because they're having a laugh about it.
Right. But it could be a poltergeist too. And
that was a firework.
Yeah.
That had too much ring to it.
Yeah. Or it could be a poltergeist, or it could be demon, it could be poltergeist.
It could be anything, but more often than not, I would say that's just somebody or something that you've been around enough that it's just fucking with you.
Or you could be forgetful and forgot where you put your keys.
Also, yes, I do it all the time. I thought I left my phone in the car and it was sitting here on the desk the whole fucking time.
All right, let's get into a little bit of the UFO stuff, then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll figure out about some kind of Patreon episode. Several of the founding fathers believed in UFOs. Ben Franklin definitely believed in them. He spoke and wrote about in his almanac, Poor Richard's Almanac, about life on other planets.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jefferson liked to give girls hickeys as a ghost.
Whore.
Slutbag.
What a fucking whore.
He also believed in UFOs. He even gave a lecture about a UFO sighting, not his, from William Dumbarton in Baton Rouge.
That's a good start.
Year 1800.
Just ask Dumbarton. He'll fucking tell you.
He mentioned it and talked about it in his lecture as though he, not as in it's crazy, but as he believed it. Now, everybody's heard of George Washington's angelic vision at Valley Forge.
Which, if anything, was aliens.
No, it's bullshit.
I'm just saying if it was something.
No, it was made up.
I mean, yeah, probably.
It was written, this turns out it was completely fiction. It was written a century later by an author named Charles Winsley Alexander.
Sounds like a bitch.
Yep. And, History Channel took that and ran with it. So apparently, George Washington did not get angelic battle plans.
I mean, that's not the first time that's happened, though, either. Right. It's not the first time that a military leader has been like, I had the word of God bestoweth upon me, and I was told to fuck mine enemies. Moon unit, live alone. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Live alone, live not alone. It doesn't matter. Whatever's out there, it's just fucking with you for fun.
Very possible.
Yeah, if you're not having, like, a personal opinion, if you're not having fucked up dreams or nothing crazy's happening, something's just in there and it's fucking with you for fun. It's probably like an ex-boyfriend that died in a motorcycle accident.
Well, I had an experience the other night.
Yeah.
Two different nights.
Yeah?
You know, my bedroom in there,
Yeah.
the ceiling, turned it off. You know, turned the light. It's ceiling light goes off.
and shit,
The ceiling fan goes off with the lights when I hit the switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hot as fuck in this place. So I turned
It's surprisingly nice today.
It's nice today, considering all things considered.
Granted, I fucking had to borrow a pair of shorts from you, but yeah.
I turned everything off, and there was still a glow from the light, so I could see the fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it spins and slowing down?
Yeah.
I was sitting there. Now, I had the fan. Now, I did have the fan running. You know, the fan that we have running here.
Yeah.
You know, blowing on me. So I was sitting there watching the fan go around, slowly slow down. Stopped and started going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I looked at the fan. Okay, cool. Okay.
Which can happen.
Then it did it for like 30 seconds.
That's a long time.
Stopped again. Started going the other way.
Yeah, see, that's weird.
I was like, wait a minute. If it was the fan causing that.
No, was the fan actually moving? Did you look? Or were you just seeing?
No, the fan was actually moving. It kept stopping.
Yeah, see, that's strange.
It did it about 3 fucking times.
Yeah, that's strange.
I was like, because at first I was like, okay, it's just the air circulation from the fan, the floor fan.
Yeah.
It
could move it back from when it stopped potentially a little bit.
But I wouldn't think it reversed it 2 or 3 times.
No, it wouldn't.
Unless
even if you had an oscillate, it wouldn't do that.
That was fucking. No, I never keep them oscillate. I want that shit. I'm stingy. I want that
Directly.
shit
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I don't buy these fans like this. I buy box fans. But it on me, call it a day.
But that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, or that last hot spell we had.
Yeah, like last week.
Or maybe it was last week. Then
after all that rain, when it was humid as dick.
Then 2 nights ago, it did it again. I was like, okay. I mean, there has to be a plausible explanation for it, because that's the only activity I've ever. I don't.
That's my thing. Is like that's why.
I don't feel anything in this place.
Well, that's why like, I'll talk about like the thing with my dad and shit, but like other than that, you'll rarely, unless you directly ask me, I'll very rarely talk about anything that I experience because mine's normal. You know what I mean? Like I'll see stuff like that's why like. I don't know if the people I live with really know that level of me, just because like it usually works out kind of weird for anybody I live with because they're not ready for it. I'm like, you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I'm going to see stuff moving in my peripherals. I'm going to hear stuff. I'm going to get touched by stuff. I'm going to hear like all the time. My number one as far as like creepy shit as far as other people are concerned is like if I'm laying in bed or I'm taking a shower or I'm taking a piss, like at any given time, if I'm stationary, it is so common for me to just be sitting there or laying there and just hear like somebody. It's like somebody walks up to the back of me and goes, and just like takes a deep breath, and I'll just like It's to the point where like I don't even acknowledge it anymore.
Like this is the first place that I've lived in. Even the last place I lived in, I had some weird activity. I saw a shadow person.
There was a lot of stuff going on in the last house you lived in too.
Yeah, I did. Woke up in the middle of the night and saw a shadow person standing over, the other side of the bed.
Which, like I said, like not to get too personal, but like all that shit could be explained within what was happening in that house while you were there.
But it was during the good times actually.
It's still though.
But in the basement, I never really experienced much in the basement. Because that was where, people have watched some of the older videos, that studio.
I mean, basements are so fucking cliche.
I never really experienced anything.
They're so other cliche. People did. It's like the automatic, it's dark and fucking scary. Let's fucking say there's a ghost there.
But this place, I've not had any, outside the squirrels that sneak in the attic, which I'm hoping they're squirrels.
Cunts.
I mean, but that is the only thing that's ever happened. I feel more strange about somebody breaking in the place.
Right.
Than I do about something being...
Right, like you'd feel less weird about that. Like you'd be like, what's up, fucker?
Yeah, I've got to worry about,
I mean, I'm the same way. Like, it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, if I see shadows or something like that, I'm just like, all right, it's whatever.
Well, okay, let's get Jimmy Carter. He had a UFO sighting.
Yeah, I also think Jimmy Carter was doing drugs. If we're being
Oh, he was
honest.
clean as a whistle.
Okay.
On September 18th
Him
of
and his
19,
goddamn peanuts.
19 that was his brother, damn it. 1969, Carter he actually filed a report with the International UFO Bureau. And then he opened up and talked about this during his campaign in 76.
Mm-hmm.
And we still elected that motherfucker. Of course, I was only 4 years old.
I mean, Jimmy Carter was a hell of a president.
He described waiting outside of the Lions Club meeting in Leary, Georgia to begin, and at 7:30 p.m., he spotted what he called the darndest thing I've ever seen, which is what he would say, because heaven forbid he say, damn. God-fearing man. Carter, as well as 10 or 12 other people witnessed this event, described the object as a very bright, with changing colors and around the size of the moon. Carter reported the object hovered about 30 degrees above the horizon and moved in toward the Earth away before disappearing in the distance. He later told a reporter that after the experience, he vowed never again to ridicule anyone who claimed they saw a UFO.
Excellent.
How about that?
I call that just as much bullshit as everybody else.
But who knows? It could have been something. UFOs, that's the one good thing about UFOs. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, like you can't.
It could be
nobody can poo-poo it.
It could be military. It could be, who knows?
Yeah, like nobody can be like, ah, fuck you, like because nobody was there.
I mean, but I do like reports.
I mean, I'll still be like, oh, fuck you.
I do like reports with multiple witnesses at one time at the same place.
It's never a bad thing.
It's a good thing. Now, it still doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. It just means
there's more to back it up.
You don't know what it is.
Fuck me in the ass.
We'll get this last one, then we'll kind of dick around with the comment section, I guess, for a little while to wound out the last.
There's not much of a comment section at this
10
point.
minutes or so. Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan had a UFO sighting back when he was the governor of California. In 1973, as the plane he was approaching Bakersfield, California, the pilot, Bill Painter, first noticed it and called it to the attention of the others. And according to Mr. Painter, it appeared to be several hundred yards away. It was fairly steady light
they always?
Until it began to accelerate. Then it appeared to elongate. The UFO got a hard on.
It got an erection.
It's a grower, not a shower.
It got a reflection erection.
Then the light took off and went up at a 45-degree angle at a high rate of speed. Everyone in the plane was surprised. The UFO went from normal cruising speed to a fantastic speed instantly. Sound familiar?
Like every other
pretty much what's
UFO
going on
fucking
now.
sighting.
Yeah. If you give an what? If you give it a blowjob. If you ever give an airplane power, it will accelerate, but not like a hot rod. Boy, this was back in the 70s.
Right?
Or 80s, yeah, 70s. And that's what it was like. A week later, Reagan recounted the sighting to Norman C. Miller, then a Washington bureau chief for the Wall Street Journal. Reagan told Miller, "We followed it for several minutes. It was a bright white light. We followed it to Bakersfield, and all of a sudden, to our utter amazement, it went straight up in the heavens." When Miller expressed some doubt, a look of horror came over Reagan's face. It suddenly dawned on him he was talking to a reporter immediately afterwards, according to Miller and Reagan's.
Okay, so there's a reporter there immediately afterwards. I automatically call bullshit.
No, this was a week later.
Oh, okay.
No, he's talking about he told this to a fucking reporter.
Okay.
This was back in 73? Yeah, 73. 73, you didn't talk about this shit.
Right.
If you talked about this shit.
I still make the argument of it was probably some fucking government test.
That's a beautiful thing. We don't know. It could very well be. The government.
I still think it is to this day. Like, I think there is real UFO videos, but I think most of them are just government testing of aerial bodies that we don't know about.
Some of them. Like, what the most popular one, like the Tic Tac. But no, the Tic Tac, I think it might be one of the legitimate. Cause
I do too, but it's just blown up for no reason.
I've heard many pilots and many scientists say that thing was going
crazy fast.
Wait, and And I had a question. According to the one of the footage where they really base it on the speed where it darts off the screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I watched something the other day, but I even had a question about, okay, could the plane that was filming it be banking right as that thing was going left, which would naturally accelerate it.
Mm-hmm.
And a fighter pilot, it might have been on Discovery Channel or the Undiscovered.
Yeah, back then you'd see it because the instrumentation would change.
Right, the fighter pilot. They had a fighter pilot, actually a female fighter pilot, analyzing it. And the lady asked.
Automatically don't trust it. Females can't fly.
The lady who was interviewed, or was showing it, there was two of them. Asked the pilot.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
She goes, "Is it possible that the plane was turned right?" She goes, that would explain a lot. She said, "But look, according to the instrumentation, those wings right there,
you can tell
they stay level. If it was banked to the
instrumentation changes with the physical placement of the aircraft.
Right. So it wasn't that. So whatever it was, literally darted, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I think they calculated out. The G-force alone would have been 5,000 pounds of G-force, which would liquefy anybody.
Mm.
Now,
what's what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's a bullshit video. I'm just saying, like, why are we paying so much attention to it? Because nobody's gonna fucking explain it. It's outside our realms.
One day it will be explained.
Yeah, 2,000 years from now.
No, one day soon it'll be explained.
I don't think so.
I think they're coming.
I think we'll both be dead by the time any of this gets explained. I
think they're coming.
Why? Why would they?
Is coming to harvest.
If anything, they're gonna wait until we fucking destroy the planet through global warming, and then they're gonna come in.
Don't even get me started on that shit.
No, because then they don't have to worry about us.
I did hear scientists talk about global warming.
Yeah.
He said, "You are aware we are still 10,000 years ahead of. There's more ice. The glaciers. The glaciers are 10,000 or bigger than they were 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
We are actually in a cold period.
Yeah. That's how it always works. I say it all the time. We're in the fucking natural ebb and flow of the planet.
Well, the
problem is everybody wants to talk about global warming. I'm like, no. You want to talk about global warming from the fact that even though you want to say you're not religious, you want to talk about it from a religious standpoint. No, fuck you. This planet has been a thing for billions of years, and it has consistently gone through ice ages and hot periods. All we're doing is helping it along to its next ice age where it's going to get rid of us, the number one thing that's destroying it, and then it's going to start anew again. What are you reading? I haven't read comments in a minute.
Apparently we're buffering, and Bree says it's weird. It didn't start happening until Phil talked about the fan moving.
Fuck that fan.
Apparently, when I told my story in here, maybe something's interacting with the shit.
That fan's got a ghost. That ghost is a bitch. That fan's got a ghost. That ghost is a bitch. The ceiling fan in Phil's room's got a ghost. That ghost is a bitch. You got a problem with it, ghost? Come fight me. Leave him alone. You can come to my house. I got a fan in my room. You can come fuck with me. I ain't scared of your punk ass. Fuck you.
No provoking. Oh. But here's the thing. I love when people say, "Let's save the planet." You ain't trying to save.
You
the
don't.
planet.
You only want to save shit so that you can look at it. That's all it is.
Save yourself.
It's the vanity of man. It's just like, oh, save the fucking polar bears. No, fuck you. The polar bears are going to die. Species die. The only reason you give a shit is because you think they're cute, so you want to keep looking at them.
They're cute until they're eating your fucking.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason you give a fuck. You never gave a shit about the polar bears until you found out they were a thing, and you're like, oh, they're white and they sell us Coca-Cola.
That's a topic for Thursdays.
EMF ratings where?
Here because
here.
Yeah. Oh, EMF's off the spike with all the fucking computers, the lights.
Right.
The fucking
There's so many electronics in this fucking house.
We're just right in this 5-foot area. 3 lights.
I said we just go to a park and do it and see what happens.
I'm not that worried about. It's an old fucking house.
I could take a piss.
Plus the electricity is probably about a minute away from burning fucking down.
We are in Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to call it. We have went an hour and 40 minutes or 39 minutes ish.
I didn't eat shit today.
I didn't eat shit today either.
I had some barbecue cheese nibs.
I had some Taco Bell for lunch, and I think I got a little extra left.
I got Mexican food in my car for when I leave here.
Yeah, but we are going to take off. We are going to take a break and come back and record the Patreon.
We'll see what happens with Patreon. I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. We'll figure something out.
Maybe we'll talk about the ghost in the house. Maybe I'll pull up a thing. We'll see if we can.
I'll just put my asshole up against the webcam for an hour.
Try one of these bullshit fucking ghost app things.
I'm down.
And try to connect with the
Fuck
ghost.
those apps. Let's
Patreon.
do it.
We'll do that for the Patreon episode. All right, but don't forget to subscribe to all the social medias. If you want to be a Patreon and get that Patreon bonus episode and all the others, go to patreon.com/GITN podcast and Ghost of the Night on Facebook and night_ghost on Twitter, and I have no idea what it is on fucking.
I was buffering on ours now. Let's see.
I don't know.
Fuck you, YouTube.
I don't know. But subscribe to all the YouTube channels. Yeah, we have 2 now. That's right. To this channel, be sure to share it. That is how we get things rolling.
God damn it.
We have not gotten any new subscribers here lately on this channel. I'm a little aggravated.
Or new Patreons, for that matter.
I know. But that is what we need you to do, so share it with all your friends. Don't forget, you can also get merch at shop.spreadshirt/paranormal or GITN-paranormal-merch. It's on the screen.
Merchandado.
There will be some more coming up eventually when Travis gets his little computer thingy.
Right? Jesus Christ. Give us Patreon subscribers so I can buy a goddamn laptop and a sketch pad so I can fucking make these stickers and shit cheaper and easier.
Yeah. How the fuck did our camera move?
Is it ghost?
That camera,
it's the ghost from the fan. It did move.
It did. It's more towards you. Shit's popping off.
Chalupa.
Fuck she.
She's right there. She's behind you. Chalupa. You fucking ornery bitch.
I don't know. All right, but that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, share the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and all that happy shit.
We'll be here next week.
And we'll be here next week. I don't know what we'll talk about next week.
With slightly less patriotic T-shirts.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
We'll just switch T-shirts.
All right. We will see you next Sunday. But if you want, be sure to catch the Cancellation Theory on Thursday night on that channel, which is, I don't even know. The Cancellation Theory. Just search that. But I think actually
Cancel_podcast on Instagram, which the link for the YouTube is on the Instagram.
And I will put it up on Ghost of the Night's Twitter.